The most powerful programming language on Earth was born because one man got bored during Christmas vacation. No funding, no company, no grand plan. Just a Dutch programmer with 2 weeks off and nothing to do. This is the story of Python. It's December 1989 in Amsterdam. Guido van Rossum works at a research center called CWI. He'd been helping build a language called ABC, designed to teach programming to scientists and artists. But ABC had problems. It was impossible to extend, and it couldn't talk to the operating system. Guido was frustrated. So when the office closed for the holidays, he started writing his own interpreter, just to keep himself occupied. A hobby project. That hobby project now runs artificial intelligence, space telescopes, and half the internet. By February 1991, he published Python 0.9.0 to a newsgroup. And here's a fact that surprises people. Python is older than Java. Java showed up in 1995. Python was already 4 years old by then. Now, about that name.
Most people assume Python is named after the snake. Wrong. Guido named it after Monty Python's Flying Circus, the British comedy troupe. He wanted a name that was short, unique, and slightly mysterious. The snake logo only came later, in 2006. And that comedy DNA runs deep. Where other languages use placeholder names like foo and bar, Python's official documentation uses spam and eggs, straight from the famous Monty Python cafe sketch. Python's built-in editor is called Idle, a tribute to Eric Idle, one of the Monty Python members. And before it was called the Python Package Index, the official software repository was literally named the Cheese Shop, after a sketch about a cheese shop with no cheese. The jokes are baked right into the language itself. Open Python and type import this. The interpreter prints the Zen of Python, 19 guiding principles like beautiful is better than ugly and simple is better than complex. Here's the ironic part. The source code that prints those principles is deliberately written to violate every single one of them.
It hides the text behind a secret cipher. Type import antigravity, and Python opens your web browser to a comic of a programmer flying through the air. And if you dare to ask Python for curly braces, the feature every C programmer begs for, the interpreter replies with an official error message. Not a chance. One more hidden gem. Ask Python for the hash of infinity, and it returns 314159, the first 6 digits of pi. That's not a coincidence. A developer hard-coded it as a joke decades ago. But don't let the comedy fool you. Under the hood, Python is full of serious engineering. Small integers from -5 to 256 are pre-built in memory before your program even starts, so they can be reused instantly. The compiler pre-calculates constant math before your code ever runs. This thing was built with care. So how did a joke-filled hobby language take over the world? 3 big moments. Moment 1, 2005. Reddit was originally written in a language called Lisp. As the site grew, Lisp couldn't keep up, so the team rewrote the entire platform in Python. The Lisp community was furious, but it worked. And it proved Python could handle websites at massive scale. Moment 2, the scientific revolution. Python was always criticized for being slow, but Guido had designed it as a glue language, one that could bolt directly onto fast, compiled C code. Libraries like NumPy used Python as the friendly face, with raging fast C engines underneath. Google's early motto captured it perfectly. Python where we can, C++ where we must. That design decision changed history. When machine learning exploded, frameworks like TensorFlow and PyTorch were built on that exact bridge. Today, over 90% of AI research runs on Python. NASA uses it on the International Space Station and to calibrate the James Webb Space Telescope. A Christmas hobby project is now looking at distant galaxies. Moment 3, the crisis. For almost 30 years, Guido ruled Python as the benevolent dictator for life, with absolute veto power. Then, in 2018, he approved a controversial new feature called the walrus operator. The community backlash was so brutal that Guido stepped down, saying he was tired and needed a very long break. Python replaced its king with an elected 5-person steering council. The language outgrew its creator. And Python is still evolving. Right now, engineers are removing the global interpreter lock, an ancient bottleneck that stopped Python from using multiple processor cores at once. The language born on a single desktop is going fully parallel. So here's the takeaway. Python won not because it was the fastest language, it won because it was built for humans first, with readability, simplicity, and yes, jokes. Proof that the most serious technology on the planet can come from someone who refused to take things too seriously. And it all started with 2 weeks of holiday boredom.